up? What up? Back at it again. Another week.
Damn,
We're in the middle. We're in the middle of sports. Like this is sports. I don't even know. We're you got everything. You got the NHL,
peak season,
UFC,
Christmas.
NBA started, MLB playoffs. We're in the middle of everything. But you know, we gotta start off. I'm Gabe, by the way. That's Julian. That's JoJo. Say what's up to the people, JoJo.
What it do? Yo, I didn't know your name was Gabe this whole time. Did you get a name change all of a sudden, or
I didn't read the nameplate?
Was it?
I mean, there's a lot of haters typing my name in the comments section, but anyways,
no, we love it.
Keep the hate. I love it.
With anything Gabe says, let us know. Me and you want to know. So.
I love the hateration, holleration, and his dessery. Anyways, we'll start off NFL because NFL never stops every week. We're in the middle of week. We're going to week 6 passed. We're going to week 7. I think we kind of know who's who. So I guess we'll start off with one of the biggest games of the week. Everybody's looking forward to. This is an AFC rematch, championship rematch. Let's get into the Bills Chiefs because that was a pretty big game. I'm gonna have to look into our predictions or whatever. I think I forget who predicted who, but
I'm pretty sure I had Bills on the spread. I think the Chiefs are the favorites, actually.
I think I'm about to prove you wrong, but anyways, Julian, I'll let you talk about this game. Bills Chiefs. Let me look it up. Let me go into my stats here. But Bills Chiefs. What were your kind of expectations going to this game, and did it live up to the hype? Was it a good game? Is this a game to look forward to? Like this is a projection of what it'll be like in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, just a back and forth battle. I thought they would score a little bit higher, but
we got.
Yeah, I mean, but Gabe's cat showed up on the screen for
I'm outside.
Audio listeners. For audio listeners,
talk about the game, man. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Wrong.
No, but yeah, this is a pretty good game. Josh Allen and the Bills are just, to me, they're proving to be right up there, neck and neck with the Eagles as the best team in the league. I think the Bills are a little bit better overall team than the Eagles. I think the Bills are still like the favorites to win it all. They just look so dominant. They've even had a tough schedule, and they're still just beating everybody, except for the Dolphins apparently. But even then, they still put up a crazy performance. They're just going to close for whatever reason. But yeah, last time these two teams faced each other, obviously we all know it's probably going to be looked at as one of the greatest playoff games in NFL history. An amazing game, a game where Gabe Davis, the guy who nobody knew going into that playoff game, ended up making a splash. And now this season, he's actually living up to what he did in that game, and he's having a great 1-2 punch with him and Stephon Diggs. And man, you can't talk any more about the Bills team. And then Josh Allen with his athleticism. I was talking to Gabe just pre-show. That jump that he did over that defender to get that first down, untouched, was just unreal. And then swapping over to the other side, the Chiefs. Man, the Chiefs, they're a great team. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes had 2 interceptions. He still put up 300 plus yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Chiefs just can't stop anybody from scoring. They can't. I think almost every opponent has put up like 20 points on them. If they were able to hold a team to under 20 points, they'd probably be undefeated.
Yep.
They would be undefeated.
And it's one of the things like where I don't want to die, right? It's like old Aaron Rodgers of a couple of years ago, where like yo, if they're in a late game situation, they're down. Like, do not doubt Aaron Rodgers. You're not down Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs defense, the Chiefs secondary is not that great. These are not the championship Chiefs of a year or two ago.
I mean, could you even say they had a great defense back then either?
I mean, it's better than what it is right now.
Their offenses took over the show. That's why they would drop 50 points a game. So
yeah. I mean, dude, there's only so much you can ask from Patrick Mahomes. Like, Josh Allen ran it down the field with a minute left and scored that touchdown. That's the time for your defense to step up. Patrick Mahomes is not on the field, and then you're only going to give him 40 seconds to like get down and score a touchdown. Like, that's a lot to ask for. I mean, yeah, they did it in the playoffs. Somehow, by some miracle, they made it down the field and was able to win that game. But I mean, you can't ask for that every single time. Like, you got to be able to blow out teams. And I feel like they've yet to like really like put the like flex their muscles and be like, hey, we're the fucking better team.
Yeah.
We're gonna shut you out. Like,
and obviously, I think the Bills. Just to recap, because I did my research, the Bills were favored -2.5 points. We all picked the Bills to win, which they did. They covered. It was 24-20,
All did.
8 points. So we all pretty much called it. I I'm not gonna overreact on this game just because I still think these are two playoff teams. I'm not gonna doubt
100%.
them.
Yeah.
Tons of injuries across the field. So I'm not going to overreact on this game. I think it's a good game. It's like a playoff preview game. Obviously these are it's coming up to a nice little rivalry with Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. But I think the Bills, the Bills had a decent game. It was a good struggle game to watch. It wasn't like overwhelming, like this is just going to be a shotgun shoot 'em out Hail Mary kind of game. But I think that the Kansas City run game pretty much suffered. Ed Hilaire. I do like Ed Hilaire, but he did not play very well in this game. I don't know if this O-line, obviously the O-line, I think they gave up 3 sacks to Patrick Mahomes. Probably O-line is going to be a factor going forward with this, but I'm not going to overreact. Like, these Chiefs are still a good team. They're still a playoff team. So, but this was just a fun game to watch. Jojo, I don't know how you felt about overall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to overreact either. Obviously, it's a huge win for the Bills, right? In terms of morale, right? Because of what happened last year in the playoffs, like, you want to come out and win, right? You want to show like, hey, you guys don't own us, Still a close game, 24-20, if I'm not mistaken. Now, here's what I want to say about this matchup, this rivalry, man. The Bills are going to have to win when it really matters the most, right? So I don't think Kansas City, they're not going to overthink this game too much because they know what they can do in the playoffs, right? Mahomes is already 2-0 against them the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, right? So that's when it matters the most, right? To get to that Super Bowl. So they're not going to overthink. But this one definitely mattered a lot more to the Bills here in the regular season due to what I just stated, what happened in the playoffs. But moving forward, man, you're going to have to perform like this if you have that matchup when the playoffs come around. Like, you're going to have to get over the hump. Josh Allen is going to have to beat Patrick Mahomes down the road when it really matters the most. And, and we saw what a crazy game that was last year, right? But regardless of what happens, like, they're going to have to get that win this year to move on to the next level. Let's say, you have a amazing season, right? Let's say they're performing great, best regular season team. You face the Chiefs in the playoffs, and if you lose again, it's like, damn, what did we do all this for this season, right?
And you're the better team on top of that.
That's a fact. But experience comes around. Like, we know what Mahomes can do under pressure in the playoffs. We've seen it countless in and out. Can Josh Allen do it? Can the defense do it? Can the Bills defense hold up this year in the playoffs, right? You're not going to want Patrick Mahomes doing whatever he wants on the offensive side of the ball, getting down the field, clutch touchdowns. Like, you're going to have clutch moments for that defense when Josh Allen's off the field.
Yeah. And going forward, I mean, the Chiefs, they play 49ers at the 49ers, so on the road, but then they get a bye week. So, but when they come back, they play the Rams, play the Chargers. So, not a tough schedule for them. I think the Chiefs should be, it should be some fun games actually coming in, to week 9, week 10, going forward. Let me look at the Bills schedule real quick. Bills, they play versus Green Bay at home. They play the Jets, Minnesota. So these are some tough teams. I mean,
decent, right? Green Bay has been proving themselves. Minnesota, they're a capable team as well.
I would say the New York Jets are a positive team. The Vikings are a tough team, but Green Bay, they should be able to beat Green Bay next week. So, as we go forward, let's transition to the other game of the week. Ravens at the Giants. I mean, I feel like coming into this game,
I want to talk about it because if you guys listen to that last episode, your boy right here called that upset, and I gave all the reasons why. But I'm going to let you take it away, Gabe.
All right, let's come into this game. Obviously, I think the Ravens are the heavy favorite. Lamar Jackson, I mean, having a pretty good year this year. I have to pull up the bets because I have to see what everybody was talking about. But Julian, I'll go to you. What were your expectations going to this Ravens Giants game? Ravens were a -6 favorite. Ended up losing 24-20. I mean,
I remember saying I picked the Giants. I'm almost positive I did because there's no way I would have picked the Ravens on that spread because the way the Ravens defense has been playing. And I think this is a bigger question. We should kind of divert it instead of kind of recapping the game, but just be like, are the Giants can they seriously make the playoffs? Are they a for real team? They're now 5-1, and who would have picked them being 5-1 in these first 6 games?
Not me.
Is crazy, especially against tough opponents. I mean, we thought the Packers would be tough. We thought the Titans would be better. Their only losses to the Cowboys, which turned out to be somewhat a pretty good team. So, I mean, the Giants, man, like Thibodeau, that was a good draft pick. He's really showing out. He's just a raw natural pass rusher. That was a good pickup from them. I know they were talking about him being the first overall pick going into the draft, but he kind of fell a little bit due to like off the field things. But man, like Daniel Jones is playing clean football. Is he playing amazing? No, he's playing whatever, but he's playing clean. He's doing what he has to do to win the game, just like a Jimmy G. And Saquon is he's playing out of his mind. So even though he didn't rush for nothing crazy, he still got a touchdown, 22 carries, 83 yards. Like the Giants, they're just a gritty team. Like they're just a tough brawler team, and I respect it. Can they keep it up? We'll see. I think at this point, I think they could really be pushing for a playoff spot. I mean, right now the ball's in their court. They don't have to hope on anybody else. I mean, shit. Now they're second in their division. If they can beat the Eagles, if they can beat the Eagles, they can win that division. Like that's like a serious like that could actually happen. It's crazy.
I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Eagles. I mean, I'm
saying if they could, and they showed the potential that they could. I'm not saying that I think the Eagles are the better team.
Yeah,
but bro, if you're 5-1, Eagles are 6-0. If you're able to at least, if you can go even on them, if you could split, on the two, like
in which they usually do every season, no matter how bad they are, they somehow will get a split between the Cowboys or the Eagles, their rivals. Like, they just don't fold over usually. So,
and it's weird, like how competitive that the NFC East has gone. Yeah, I mean, I think going forward, I mean, the Giants, they're going to play at Jacksonville. So, Julian, there you go.
I was going to ask that.
They're playing at Jacksonville next, and then they play at Seattle, which is going to be tough, tough to go on the road. I mean, 2 road games, and then they get a bye week.
Cross country.
So 2 rough road games, but, I mean, they seem to be sticking around. I don't know, to me, like, their best player is Saquon Barkley, and as long, we see what a healthy Saquon Barkley can play like, right? Like he's a premier player. Like he somehow gets that team going, right? Daniel Jones, not overly impressive, but efficient, right? It's just efficiency. He gets the job done, right?
He literally reminds me of the second coming of Eli Manning, right? He wasn't overly impressive.
And I think that's what they said in the
job done. You know what I mean? Like decent in the regular season. You see a couple glimpses of touchdowns, some interceptions.
I think Eli has shown more. I think Daniel Jones has in his 4th year.
Yeah, I think Eli was better.
He already had a Super Bowl, didn't he?
Like, it was better.
But think about those teams, right? Like they were like 8-8 teams that made the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. So like we'll see if when the time comes when Daniel Jones make the playoffs and how he performs. But like during the regular season, like Eli Manning wasn't a dominant quarterback. He did enough to get the job done. They had receivers back then. Yeah. And a good defense as well, but they were never like 13-3 in a regular season. 14-2, like that just wasn't.
They were actually. I remember they were like that the year after they won, but then they didn't end up going. I remember that like for some reason, but I think they will. I think they for sure will. At 5-1 already, like I think in the NFC is not as good as we thought it was going. Like this NFL season is so weird. There's so many like, I don't know if it's just bad football being played, but like, there's no standout teams outside the Bills and like we thought this thing was going to be so deep, but like you're just seeing so many like just and being 5-1 right now, you have such a massive head start.
Yeah,
like if they can win 4 more games, they're probably in. I think you can make the playoffs with 9 games in the NFC. And it's week 7. They have 10 more games to win 4. and 5 maximum. If they can win 10, they're definitely in.
Yeah.
So like, if they can, it's totally possible if they can go half and half on this second half.
So let's talk about the other NFC East team. Obviously, I think there was a big matchup this weekend. It was Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys going on the road to Philadelphia. Philadelphia being, I guess, I'm riding on the Philadelphia train. Julian, did you see any of this game? Like, what were your thoughts heading into this game? And how did you feel about the outcome?
Yeah, I watched the end of this game. This was one of those games, man. Like as a Cowboys fan, this game it must have been hard to watch. Cooper Rush by far had his worst game. It seems like they figured him out.
Absolutely.
1 touchdown pass, 3 interceptions, 18 for 38, a QBR of 32.2. Just not a good game at all. Somehow he stayed upright, no sacks. But yeah, this was just a grindy game. I don't think anybody played particularly like pretty football. It was just a grindy game that got away from the Cowboys and the Eagles. Man, they know how to pound that rock. I tell you what, they know how to move the ball. Jalen Hurts didn't do too much today, only 15 to 25. But yeah, I mean, Eagles are now separating themselves more and more. But what's the big headline you think coming out of this game, Gabe?
The biggest headline is you need Dak Prescott back, right? Like as much as Cooper Rush has been like, he's been a Band-Aid, like you still need your premier player. Cooper Rush he's won. He's been, playing. Nobody expects, like a backup to be like excellent, like just outshine the quarterback, but he has been pretty decent. So going forward, I expect Dak Prescott, if he's healthy enough, to come play again.
Dallas is shut relevant. Up a lot of that talk. It shut up a lot of that talk. It's like, look, man, I said it from the jump. Cooper, he's a great backup. Just because a backup plays well doesn't mean that he should be a starter. Sometimes people are just good backups.
And it's fine. Like, I think, Dallas is still, I'm not going to say like they have a bunch of, I'm not going to call them Super Bowl. They're on the up and up, right? They have potential, right? Especially in this division. I think the Eagles are still number 1. And obviously I think the Cowboys and the Giants are going to be fighting for that number 2 or that wild card, whatever. So, going forward,
fighting for number 1, like we were saying.
I don't think so, man. I don't know. I don't believe in the Giants.
So, but
guess what? Saquon gets hurt. I don't think Saquon. Listen, Saquon gets hurt. I don't think the offense.
No. He has to they're their number. That's the number 1 guy in that team.
I mean, to be fair though, Saquon only had 88 yards and 1 touchdown. It wasn't like he lit up the field.
Yeah,
and they still won that game.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jojo, how you feel about the NFC East overall. But let's talk about the Cowboys and the Eagles. Are you on the Eagles train? Do you believe in the Eagles? Are they for real?
It's crazy because in the beginning of the season, I know you guys were riding the Eagles train. Gabe even drafted that quarterback receiver duo on fantasy. I'm like, Eagles are frauds, but I mean, 6-0. They clearly have been the best team, the only team that's undefeated. I'm not going to argue about the strength of their schedule. They had a pretty decent schedule. And it's not just about winning games, it's how they're winning games as well. They completely exposed Cooper Rush. Finally, he's been playing pretty good the last few games for the Cowboys, but that just shows how good the Eagles are as well. They put them on timeout. Right, the defensive scheming, the coaching as well. They perform pretty well offensively, and they own the division. So I'm really excited. I want to see that Eagles-Giants matchup for the division. But that was a big matchup against the Cowboys because you want to own your division, get in the playoffs, make a run for it, and it all starts now, right? So I just want to see who's going to be that team to knock them off, to beat the Eagles.
All right.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, it was like I mean, I thought they'd be good, but not this good. Like that. I didn't think they'd be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
All right, let's go forward with I guess the rest of the week. We're in week 7. I don't know how many teams you have.
Yeah. So what's the record? So I realized at the end of last episode we didn't say the weekly record for week
I've done
5.
All the yes, I've done all the pick'ems. Jojo, you haven't been here around for all of them, but overall, from like week 2 to week 6, Julian, you are 30 out of 78, which is not good. It's like 40 something percent. I'm 34 out of 78. Jojo, you have probably the highest percentage, like 45%, 21 out of 46. So,
Jojo missed a week too.
So. Yeah, he missed a couple weeks. So, but yeah, I'm currently beating Julian a little bit right now, just by 4 votes, but still, it's like under 50%. If you're going to be a Vegas better, you have to do like 60% clip. We're at like 40, under 45. Jojo, like I said, Jojo has like 45%. We're under that, you and I, Julian. So let's get into the NFL pick'em.
So what was the record? Do you have it for just last week, just as general?
Oh, last week, general, overall. Let me pull it up. Last week, of all the picks, Julian, you had 5 picks that you got right. I had 7 picks.
That's it.
Jojo had 9 picks that he got.
Let's go.
Damn.
Jojo had the most picks. He had 9 picks. I had 7.
If y'all want to win some money, I almost doubled Julian in terms of wins here.
That's what set me back. Is it last week? Last week set me back.
Listen, I'm here calling the upsets. That's what I do, guys. That's what I do.
All right, let's switch it over to tomorrow. Tomorrow, the New Orleans Saints at Arizona. Arizona is -2.5. New Orleans Saints +2.5. The line is leaning towards the Cardinals at the -105. My bad, the -115 for the Saints to get within.
Man, I don't believe in the Cardinals, man. I'm not a believer. But listen, this week Hopkins is supposed to come back. As a big trade, Robbie Anderson got traded to the Arizona Cardinals. That was the biggest thing.
True.
They had to fight on the sideline, and the Panthers traded him. I still don't.
So there's some weapons coming.
There's weapons available, but do you think weapons are going to be ready? Do you think they have the game plan ready for?
I mean,
first game.
Dude, DeAndre Hopkins is a big. Hopkins changer. He's going to open up the field for Rondale Moore, Edmund. Now with Robbie Anderson in there, AJ Green's still in the game.
You think Robbie Anderson's playing? I don't think he's playing, man. Does he know the game? Does he know the game scheme? Does he know the plays?
I think he'll figure it out. It's been a few days. I think he's playing. I think he's playing for sure. You still got Zach Ertz. So, like, as much as I was trashing the Cardinals,
but listen, those Cardinals,
it's going to be really tough to guess because you're getting really important pieces back. And
they're on
New
their
Orleans
third string running back because 2 of their running backs are injured, and this third string guy is questionable.
Did they got? Oh,
I don't know. So their run game has been pretty bad. They got.
I'm going to Saints, man. Give me the Saints, dude.
Andy Dalton
Saints on the road.
Is Andy Dalton still starting? I haven't even following the Saints. I know
Saints on the road. Come on, it's just Thursday night football, guys. Let's not discuss it too much longer.
Man, what's these shitty ass Thursday night games?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's better than Broncos, at least.
Yeah, I'll take the Cardinals.
You know what? I
can't handle another Broncos like fucking primetime game. This shit is rough.
I'm taking the
Cardinals 2.5.
They're like 4 this season, and I think we lost all of them.
Jojo, who you got? Just officially?
Damn, I'm gonna have to flip a coin on this one. But you know what? Right. I'm gonna give Arizona the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, home team.
I don't like this Saints team. I haven't heard anything about them.
Andy Dalton.
They're not looking good, and that's Gabe's alarm there. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Right.
They got some pieces. They got more weapons. They're at home.
All right. Since Gabe's got to head out soon, so we're gonna speed run through this.
Speed run.
Just no explanations. We just say what it is. Detroit at Lions. Detroit at Dallas. Dallas -7. Detroit +7. Line is dead even.
Give me the Cowboys.
Man, fuck.
Wait, you're in Detroit?
Yo, Detroit. Nah, you already said it, brother.
No. Hey, who's playing? Dak? Is Dak playing?
I'm going to assume it's Dak.
Doesn't matter. Do you believe in the backup? He's been playing well. I mean,
give me Cowboys. I change Cowboys.
There you go. See, I convinced him.
He's clear to play. By the way, he's clear to play medically.
Okay, Cowboys for sure.
We should still wait one more game.
All right.
Indianapolis at Tennessee. Tennessee minus 2.5, Indianapolis plus with the line leaning towards people picking Tennessee at home. Give me Tennessee minus 2.5.
Oh, the Colts all the way.
I'm gonna go Colts. Yeah,
At Tennessee,
Colts are weird. They got
Colts.
wins. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go Colts though.
They're a bad team, but guess what? Titans are a bad team. All right, that's what's next.
New York Giants at Jaguars. Jaguars are the favorites with minus 3. Giants plus 3. The line even. Give me the Jags.
Wow, Julian, I told you. If they keep losing, I'm not gonna bet them anymore. And guess what? They keep losing. I cannot bet on the Jaguars anymore. Give me the Giants, bro.
Yo, after last week, listen, I'm all in with Gabe. That's ridiculous. I can't.
Jags are the favorites at home.
They keep losing, dude.
Easily had 10 picks that were correct if I didn't pick the damn Jags last week.
Matt Ryan decided to be Tom Brady and like throw a bomb to end the game.
Listen, I'm sorry. Like, you guys are good at home or whatever. I'm going to have to go Giants on this one. They're playing out of their mind. They're playing pretty good football. Good luck with the Giants next week.
At home, still favorites.
Good luck.
Cleveland at Baltimore. I believe Sean Watson is coming back. Baltimore minus 6. Cleveland plus 6. I think Deshaun, he hasn't played in fucking forever. Give me Baltimore minus 6.
We'll go Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ravens.
All right.
We're all Ravens.
Atlanta at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is minus 6.5. Atlanta is plus 6.5. The line leaning towards Atlanta. Give me Atlanta plus 6.5.
They did win.
I didn't call that one. I was like, they suck.
I'm taking Atlanta. I don't trust Bengals with a spread that big.
Oof, these are two really bad teams. I'm gonna go Bengals. I mean, Bengals, come on. I think they're improving. I think it's an upswing.
And they're protecting Burrow, and they're still like not.
Did Bengals win last week? Because I believe I picked them.
I'll let you know.
All right, we'll get it next.
Oof. Green Bay at Washington. Washington is plus 5.5 home dogs.
Oh, wow.
Packers minus 4.5 with the line leaning towards the Packers. Give me the Packers. They don't know. Ron Rivera's like losing his mind on the press conferences, yelling at reporters. One moment he says he loves Carson Wentz, the next he's saying he doesn't. Give me the Packers.
Wentz has a broken finger he's trying to play through. I'm gonna go Packers. I don't even know what's going on with that. This guy's injured again.
I think the Packers win, but the Washington Commanders cover. I think it's going to be a closer game. Somehow the Green Bay Packers lost to the Jets. By the way, JoJo, you did bet for
Gabe changed my mind. I'm going Commanders. I forgot about the Jets thing. I forgot.
Anyways, you did bet the Bengals last week. Anyways, I'm going with the Washington Commanders cover.
Yeah, I'm doing Commanders plus 4. I think Green Bay wins though. All right. Tampa at Carolina. Tampa is minus 10.5. Carolina plus 10.5 as the home dogs. The line's leaning towards Tampa, really. A lot of people are put to get that. No, give me Carolina to get within 10.
Carolina, okay. Oh, you like the points. You like the.
I got Carolina against the spread. I don't think Tampa can win by 11 points.
I agree with that, but I have Tampa winning.
Okay, I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, so you got Carolina.
Yeah. Tampa winning, but Carolina covers the spread. 10.5 is too much points. All
right, so we all got Carolina. All right. Houston at Las Vegas. Las Vegas is minus sign. Las Vegas. Oh God. Las Vegas is minus 7. Houston is plus 7. With the line leaning towards Houston. Give me Houston with the plus 7. I think Raiders win at home, but Houston wins against the spread.
Give me Las Vegas easy.
Las Vegas for me.
All right. New York Jets at the
Gaga Bowl, Doodle Bowl. JoJo, you got to go first, JoJo.
Zach Milfman Wilson against Russell Wilson, the guy that apparently nobody likes and is a terrible leader, supposedly. Coming out after 10 years of this man being in the league. Jets are plus 1. Broncos are minus 1 with the line dead even. Give me the Jets to win this game outright.
Oh, yeah. Even though they're going mile high, baby, there's a lot of altitude differentiation. You know what I mean? They got to go up into a higher altitude. Give me the Jets, bro. The Jets gonna win.
Differentiation.
Come on.
No, you know what?
I believe in the MILF, man.
I'm gonna be like Julian. I'm gonna stick by my team, bro. Listen, I know Jets have been playing better.
Wow,
bro, the Jags are playing better than the Broncos.
I am going to stick with my squad. I have hope. We finally threw a touchdown last week. We're going in the right direction.
Wow.
We got a touchdown.
I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is a wash and they win by one.
Anyways, all right. I'll take the Jets.
Seattle at Los Angeles Chargers. That is, Seattle is plus 6.5. Chargers are minus 6.5, with the line leading towards people picking the Seattle to win against the spread.
Man, I mean, Chargers had a lot of injuries. They haven't been playing up to expectations. 6.5 points. I feel like right now at this point in the season, that's a lot of points for the Chargers.
Wow.
Especially the performance they put up against the Broncos.
I mean, give credit to the Broncos defense, but I do agree. Herbert did not look the same out there with that offense, and he threw. Did he even throw a touchdown? I think it's the first game he hasn't thrown more than 2 touchdowns against the Broncos.
He's still missing his weapons, man.
Yeah.
But Seahawks don't have the Broncos defense. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Chargers at home.
They win by 7 or more. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. Seahawks cover. Seahawks lose, but they cover the points.
I'm with Gabe. I'm taking the Seahawks. Somehow Geno Smith is scoring points. I don't know how, but he's doing it.
Listen, man, he's the truth, man. But you got to believe in him.
Yeah. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. All right, Kansas City at Seattle. I mean, oh my bad. Kansas City at San Francisco is at -3. San Francisco's +3 as the home dogs, with the line leaning towards people picking San Francisco with the -118. Give me San Francisco.
Oh, you going to San Francisco? I think that the Chiefs are pissed off. They're mad. They're going to go on the road. They're going to win this game. I think the 49ers, they don't have enough offense. As good as their defensive line is, they're good as their defense is. Chiefs are pissed off. They're
Listen, you know what?
I think if you can stop Patrick Mahomes, they could really do some damage because they don't have a run game.
3 sacks last game, so we'll see.
Yeah, and San Francisco's got a really good defense, and I like them at home.
I'm praying on the Chiefs' downfall every game, obviously, but I don't always get what I want. I think the Chiefs are gonna win, and I do hope I'm wrong on this one next week. So I wouldn't mind it, but I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
All right, we got Pittsburgh at Miami. Miami as the home favorites, -7.5. Pittsburgh +7.5. Tua is coming back.
Wow!
After leaving this planet for the past couple weeks, he is now made landfall back on Earth, and he is here ready to play.
Must-win game.
Absolutely.
Pittsburgh sucks.
Tua wins it. Tua wins it. Must-win game.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins. By the way, the odds are dead even at -110. So I'll take the Dolphins. Pittsburgh is terrible.
Yeah, you know what?
Hey,
we'll go Dolphins. They need their quarterback. If he comes out healthy, hope he's healthy, rooting for him. I think Dolphins could be the Dolphins we've seen the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah. And I expect the Dolphins defense to score.
Listen, that O-line better protect their quarterback.
If it's not, it's going to be a problem.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man, if he gets another concussion.
Sure. He's done for the season.
All right, final game, Monday Night Football, Chicago
Bears.
Ready? New English.
Are you ready?
New England Patriots. Terrible game. I don't know how New England is -7.5 at home, but Bears are +7.5, with the line actually leaning towards the Patriots to cover that 7.5 spread. Man, the Bears have no offense. This is a tough one for me because neither does New England.
Well, I mean, New England had a big offensive game last week.
They did, but I mean, can they replicate that?
I mean, against the Bears, yeah, that would be the perfect team to replicate that against, to be honest.
The Bears have a good enough the thing is their offense is terrible, but they have a good enough defense to somehow keep them close. I can see this being a 13-16 game. So give me the Bears plus.
Wow.
Not to win, but I think they can get within 7. I think I can see a 16-13 game.
I agree. Bears lose, but they're going to cover. Yeah, it's not going to be a high offensive game.
I think I'm going to go with the same thing, man. I think 7.5 is a lot of points. So they're going to win by 9 or 10. I think that's too many points for the Patriots, although the Patriots win. All right.
And they're out their starting running back. because I have him on fantasy. Well, he's questionable, so we'll see. But anyways, that is it for our picks
NFL
for
pick
week
'em.
7.
Listen,
See who
listen.
Another week of your boy winning. Just saying, guys. If y'all want to win some money,
right now you're on a streak. JoJo's on a streak right now. But listen, I'm on a streak as well. I have to probably get out of here. Listen, there's other stuff to talk about. There's NBA, MLB. Y'all picked. What do you guys want to talk about? JoJo, I know you want to talk about your Lakers because you're a LeBron fan, but I'm going to dip out of here. I'm going to bow my head. Thank y'all.
You know what, Gabe? Listen and find out.
I'm going to have to listen and find out.
Me and JoJo are going to figure out which one we're going to talk about first.
All right, so let's talk about the NBA season because it just opened. We had the 76ers play the 76ers play the Celtics, and we also had Warriors play the Lakers. I'm going to dip out after this, but thank you for having me.
Okay, so Gabe forced us to talk about
NBA. Just talk about the Lakers. Talk about Lakers. JoJo's a Lakers fan. Let him talk.
Okay, Gabe, we got you. Want to talk about the Lakers?
Oh man, well, shout out. This is the start of the NBA season, guys. We're officially back. Looking forward to it. We love basketball here. We had the showdown. Defending champs Warriors go against the not so defending champs LA Lakers. They won 2 years ago, but that's a completely different team than we're
watch Gabe's gonna call in and be like, yo, like you also talk about the Lakers. He's a closet Laker fan, I'm telling you. He wants to talk about more about the Lakers than like you. So I don't get it.
He's like these Cowboy fans that just want to keep talking about the same thing over and
somehow
over.
Not a fan. He's like, no.
Listen, he talks more about the Lakers than his residential Miami Heat. I don't know.
For real, I'm not even kidding.
I think he really knows.
Since we are talking about the Lakers, what do you think the outlook of the season is going to be? It looks like they're bringing the whole squad back somehow, some reason. I don't know why they're doing that, but we'll see if maybe round 2 they can at least make a play-in game, which me and you've discussed that. We think it's stupid, but what do you think?
Listen, first, let me start off with the Warriors. They won the game. They had their championship ceremony. They got their rings. They had the banner raised into the rafters. That's the 4th championship for Stephen Curry and crew, Klay Thompson, Draymond. And, we keep hearing a lot of publicity on this whole Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, argument and fight. And everyone's questioning how's that going to affect the team chemistry and everything. But aside from that, the team basically said, listen, once you get those rings and that banner's raised, that all of that goes out the door. We're here to win another championship, go back to back. So I think they're going to be fine this season. Jordan Poole just earned the bag. He's not caring what's going on with Draymond. He's going to do his thing and play his role. He knows his role in the game, and he's going to perform. I don't think he cares about what Draymond's going to do, or he's not intimidated by him. He's fresh off a championship, got his money. Now, as far as the Lakers, I don't even know what's going on with that. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, that's going to be a key component. LeBron's probably
to me, that is the key component. If he doesn't stay healthy, they're not making it again.
Because look what happened last season. That's exactly what happened. The Lakers were hanging in there until he went out 2 times or 3 times in the season, and then there was just no catching up at that point.
And they were trying to say when he was gone, like they were a better team without him. I'm like, come on, like don't lie to yourself. Like, come on, like maybe their record was better, but there's this organization, like that place is a shit show right now. It's a shit show. That I've been saying they need to blow that thing up. I don't know why they continue to do what they're doing, because it's just not working. And bro, like you're gonna repeat it like after it clearly hasn't worked, and you're gonna do it again. And realistically, the whole LeBron experiment for the most part, hasn't worked. Outside of the 1 year they won the championship, they've missed the playoffs. I'm not counting the play-in game. They missed the playoffs.
Well, the first year LeBron was there, they missed the playoffs. The second year was bubble year. I think they won the championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then they missed the playoffs again. So 2 out of the 3 years, they missed the playoffs.
And one of them was in a play-in, which they essentially didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. So it's like it's a disaster. And it's like just like I don't know why they continue to do it, what they're doing, and it blows my mind.
Yeah,
But to me, it looks like Golden State is poised to repeat. I don't see any real challenger to the throne. I guess you could say Phoenix, but who knows if they can get all things clicking. It seems like when they need to show up, they don't. And then as for the East, no one really made any improvements. It seems like everything's been pretty lateral. So it seems like everybody feels good about the squads they have over in the East. I don't know if that's the case. As a Heat fan, I don't think they did enough. We didn't really talk about it on this podcast, but I thought I like Tyler Hero. I'm just not willing to invest into him as if he's like an amazing player.
Like that go-to guy yet for the Heat.
Like, and I don't know, man. Sometimes these fans down here in Miami could be a little delusional and get a little too hyped up about certain players. I thought he would have been great trade bait. Coming off a 6 Man of the Year, he said he was going to start somewhere, but I guess they really wanted to keep him. Look, I hope it works out. I hope maybe with what's his fourth year? His fourth year?
He's going on.
This is his final year of his contract. Yeah. That's why they extended him. So, look, I hope he proves me wrong. We'll see. And then as for Boston, lateral moves, and then Philly, those seem like your top three. I don't know about Brooklyn. Brooklyn's you're going to get Kyrie the whole season, so maybe that does make a difference. I think they playoffs. I don't know if they're a true contender though. Ben Simmons, I didn't watch anything. What I briefly saw, I think it was preseason. It looked like Ben Simmons was having a decent preseason. I'm not sure if you saw anything about that.
I mean, he had a few dunks, a few layups here and there. Still not really shooting, so I want to see where his confidence is at with his jump shot. I think that's what everyone is waiting for. I don't think he's going to be put in those clutch situation moments because you have Kyrie and KD. Like
he doesn't need to be.
They're going to be your go-to guys for sure. Like, you're going to have the ball in Kyrie or KD's hands, which both have championship experience.
And this might be like the best thing for him. And I've been the biggest Ben Simmons hater, but like honestly, maybe they were asking too much of him out of Philly, and that's why he was having all these like confidence issues. Maybe just being a role player and getting kind of the spotlight off of him a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, but do you think that's a cop-out? Because he did come in as a number one pick. So like there's no such thing as, oh, they put too much pressure on him. Like you're a number one pick.
No, I mean,
as a role player, you know.
Well, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying maybe this was the best move. Maybe him not being, because he clearly didn't live up to the hype.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
So,
if we're going in that direction, yeah, of what he's been able to prove, then of course, yeah, you'll take the easy way out and be the backup guy and be behind two megastars, not superstars.
Look, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not meaning that like, all right, they're asking to him. Obviously, he was a number one pick. You expect him to play like a number one pick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, from his perspective, maybe it's just better that he doesn't have to be the star guy that they thought he was going to be. And maybe it'll work out more. Because I can see him as like a 12 points a game type of guy. Maybe like 10 rebounds. I could see him being that, just like a run-of-the-mill, just like starting power forward, number 4 or 5. Like, I can see that for him.
That sucks because, again, that's like easy way out for him. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
He's supposed to be the superstar, all-star caliber.
But I think at this point, player. That's what you got to expect from him, and I think that's probably the
realistic.
That's probably what the best the Nets could ask for him. The worst the Nets could happen for the Nets would be like he just doesn't play. The best they can ask for him is that he can go into this season averaging like a low double, like a 10, like 13, 14 points a game. Maybe and if he goes in there and does that in the playoffs, I think that's enough. But I don't know. The Nets are going to be interesting follow. But like I said, I think Golden State is poised to make a repeat. I don't think there's anybody that has that killer instinct to really take them off.
I mean, listen, like they're a completely different team in the playoffs. They're probably one of the most experienced teams in the playoffs in the Western Conference. Like,
And it's just like,
it's go mode. Like that's it for the Warriors. They have a system set in place. They have veterans that they stuck together for years, 4 championships. Like we're talking like the core, like as if they were the Spurs back in the day, like owning that conference.
bro.
You know what I
And to
mean?
me, it's just like, I mean, there's still a lot of young guys coming in this league, but it's just like, to me, like right now, like, man, the Warriors, just like Steph Curry and them guys, they just got that killer instinct where it's like, and maybe it's that experience and showing up in those previous experiences. It's just like they go in there and they feel like you ain't beating us. Like it's just like they don't have any drama. They're like, it's just all ball, and it's just like when you need them to show up, they'll show up. You know what I mean? And I just feel like there might be certain players on other teams that might have that ability, but like a team as a whole, like that goal, they just like, it reminds me of like those early Kobe years where it's just like you ain't taking him down. They like, when you need him the most, he's going to show up. Like, you know what I mean? But we'll see as the season goes on. Obviously, NBA season is just starting. So is NHL. Actually, going to an NHL game tonight.
Oh, you going to a Panthers game?
Yep, going to a Panthers game.
Who they play?
I'm not sure. I actually just found out today.
Yo, the Heat played tonight too. I was thinking about maybe buying tickets to go. Cheap $35, $40 tickets up there in nosebleeds. I actually don't even know who they're. Oh, they're playing Chicago. They're playing Chicago right here.
Oh,
so
not a bad game.
Yeah.
So I did want to briefly mention, don't get mad at me, but MLS playoffs are here. They just passed the first round. Sadly, my Inter Miami fell to New York City FC. The legend, the GOAT, one of the greatest strikers of our generation, Gonzalo Higuain, will be retiring. This was his final game of the year. He announced it a couple weeks ago that he was retiring. It's just sad that we had to see him go out on a baseball field. Damn shame. The amount of roasting that New York City FC is getting right now, and like about playing on a baseball field is kind of hilarious, and it is ridiculous that they play on a baseball field. But that is neither here or there.
What was the score?
It ended up being 3-0, but it was two. It was 1-0 a large majority of the game, and then ended up they gave up 2 like super late goals. So, but they're coming back next year. They got a good solid foundation, and
I mean, the goal was playoffs this year, right? And then
honestly, the goal was
a championship caliber team. So kudos to you guys.
I mean, to be fair, New York lost their coach and they lost their star player to transfers because of how well they performed. But like, yeah, honestly, Inter Miami's goal this year with the sanctions that they had to do for the cheating scandal and everything, like this was, and having roster turnover of 80%, like they turned over 80% of their roster. So honestly, making playoffs was a huge goal, was a huge achievement. So this next year, post World Cup, what I was telling Gabe and what people don't really know is like after World Cup is where you're going to see a lot of movement in MLS because a lot of teams are kind of staying put. A lot of the best players in the world are staying put in some of those top leagues to prepare for the World Cup. But now post World Cup, a lot of those guys are going to be, that's going to be their last one. So they're going to try to go wherever they want. There's no need to play at the highest level anymore. So it's going to be a really interesting next 2 years for sure, especially with the new Apple deal and all these teams getting a shit ton of money now. Soccer's on the rise here. But yeah, we can transition over to MLB baseball. So I've actually been watching some MLB playoffs this year. This is probably the most baseball I've watched in a minute. I was really excited. I was really excited about this playoffs, even though my Marlins aren't in it. I thought it was really. I thought this playoffs was going to be really interesting. I don't know, something about it. So my team this playoffs has been the Padres. Y'all been hearing it. I've been rooting for the Padres, and I was rooting for Seattle. I was rooting for the underdogs. Seattle had a long ass game. I think it ended up being the longest scoreless game in postseason history. It went to the 18th inning. I watched almost every inning of that. And man, like I couldn't imagine being a fan there because like it got really intense in about the top of the 8th. And like everybody just standing up because it's getting really close and then they needed to survive. And then it's like now you're just having that tension for like the next like 2 hours because they basically played 2 games.
Yeah.
So yeah, sadly they got knocked out. But yeah, and then I was rooting for the Cleveland not Indian, my bad, the Guardians to win
Guardian,
over the
that's crazy.
Yankees,
Wow,
but
really
they
going against
ended
them.
up choking when it mattered the most, and they ended up winning 5-1 to win the series.
Listen, they didn't choke. They just got beaten. That's it. 2 of our best players on the team, shout out your boy Stanton and Judge, both hit a home run. And when you have 2 of the best players in the world doing that, it's never a good look for the other team. And you don't want that to happen when both homer in the same game, especially in the playoffs, in which Stanton already has 9 or 10 home runs in the last 2 or 3 seasons in the postseason. So that is our guy right there. This man rakes. And then, of course, Judge, MLB leading home run king this season with 62. He had 2 home runs in this series alone. So moving on to the next round, we got the Houston Astros, and we're playing them tonight. We already rocked the baby against the Guardians. Time for night. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this series. It's our 3rd time playing them. Yeah, they're a great team, right? You know, I'm gonna shit talk the Astros all night, and obviously I hope we win. But they are a great team. They have good pitching. They're good with the bats. But I got to be very optimistic with the Yanks, man. I think this could be our year. We're a huge offensive threat aside from Stan and Judge, right? The whole lineup can hit. If our pitching can stay clutch, you know, if our relievers can do their jobs and our closers, we could really make a run for the World Series.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? I just want to step in. We had to take a emergency stop on the podcast, but I just want to let you guys know we're pretty much towards the end right there. Jojo gave his final thoughts, and I just want to say we're ready to see you guys next week. We're going to be available on all platforms. If you guys haven't done so already, please go check out all our platforms on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you get your podcast. Be sure to check it out. I want to thank you guys for listening. And once again, I apologize for cutting the podcast a little bit short, but we had an emergency that came up and we had to stop recording right there. But I hope you guys understand. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next week. Peace out, everybody.